Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. You know him better as Chip. So hey, today we're going to talk a little bit about some interesting projects that have popped up. And we've got Ripple. No, you guys haven't heard about that one. I know you guys have never heard about XRP. XDC hitting all-time highs. Cardano with the Cardaswap, their version of the Uniswap, more ADA gains. I think it's kind of an interesting direction that they're moving in. Bitcoin and altcoins hitting and reaching a point of stability to where the bulls and the pumps and the dumps will be no more. How about all that and a lot more, Chip?
And a lot more. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
All right, man. Welcome back. Welcome back. Man, it's good to have you here in the seat.
Good to be here, man.
Man, it's been a long time, even though we were here yesterday. But
well, it was 24 hours. So I mean, that is some time anyway.
That is. Hey, I want to give a quick shout out to permission.io. Today's show brought to you by permission.io, allowing you to monetize and take control of your data so that others don't. What a great concept. Browser extension, download that. Every so often you get a video, little ad pops up, say, hey, do you want to watch this video? You say, yes, I'll watch it. And you get to earn the ASK token, the ASK token. What a great way to engage and use your data for, what it's worth, because it belongs to you. It doesn't belong to the other guys. Otherwise, you make zero. So engage and get a little ASK token. And permission.io, you can check it out down below, or just easily type it in and go check out that extension. And by the way, that ASK token kind of blew up the other day. Some new news with the Google platform. So, we talked all about that. You guys can go back and check that out. But Chip, man, lots of stuff happening. You were just saying right before we got on, you said there are so many new projects. Like every single day, there's something new. It's getting to a point where it's hard to keep track of.
Yeah, you can't keep up with them. And the funny thing is, I have a Twitter. It's a Twitter sort of a where I have crypto projects, and then I have crypto, which is mostly like news. And so I'll see somebody that will retweet a project, and I start looking at it and saying, man, here's a project I never heard of, and they're getting partners, they're getting traction, smart contract platforms. So there's a lot going on. So this train has left the station, and it is exciting because there's so much cool stuff. I see a smirking over there. Someone must be putting something funny.
Malorsa said, did I mention that's a really nice OTC sign?
It's new. Nice.
Brand new.
Gee, Matt, I
Brand
don't think
new.
you have mentioned
nice
that yet.
And
Thank
shiny.
You. Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah.
XRP Panic, not the XDC scam coin.
Oh boy, there's a lot of people that take the position that
I'm not happy with it.
Well, because of R3, so a lot of people think it's a scam because R3 had that big throwdown with Ripple. So there's one school of thought that people believe that it really is just a play for R3 to get more of the XRP. And then, but it's, the thing about XDC is it's trade finance. They're not competing in the same realm. And as far as I know, there's nobody competing, for that trade finance sort of thing. And then they also launched, which we'll pull up here, but they launched a decentralized email platform that uses XDC. So, I mean, look, there's cool stuff happening. And, again, it hit a high of 19 cents. And I know a lot of people that got it sub 1 penny. So,
yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's going in, it's kind of hovering in that spot that the XLM had hovered in for a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
And then before that, the XRP hovered in a long time. I don't know what it is with the X's, but they kind of hover. They like those teens, and then they like the 20s, and they like the 30s.
I like the dollars.
That's how they grow.
I like the dollars, I like the dollars, the pounds,
the X's,
the euros, whatever you want to call it, man. I'm all down on that whole thing. That to me is fantastic. And I think probably should just pull this up because I know, like I said, I know people have their opinion of it. Some people like it. Some people are like, it's a scam coin. But look, you can't deny the fact that they're doing some things. They've got partners, and they're making some moves. So,
yep. Hey, Chip, you see that?
What's up?
XRP Speedboat said, move that new sign to your right. Your head's in the way.
Yeah, but that's just where it is. It's centered on the wall right
It's
there.
centered
So
in the wall. Where
we could,
maybe I could. I have to move
well,
over to my
but
left.
you can see mine back there is like, my head blocks it too. But that's just
I'll
because,
just rotate like this. Every so often you get to see it.
well,
On
it's
the
not like
chain.
it's not like people don't know where they are, man. Of course they know they're watching on the chain.
On the
And if
chain.
you look at that right there over my head, you can see it's on the chain.
Oh,
Of
there
course,
it
they got
is.
the OTC logo, and then the other one there just kind of hanging on the wall there. But yeah, my head mostly blocks it, but that's because it's centered to the wall and it makes more sense. Maybe not from where I'm streaming, but it works. It definitely works. But let's throw this up here, Jeff.
There it is. The Zinfin hitting all
XDC
new time highs.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It soared to an all-time high shortly after a round of new partnerships, protocol integrations, and exchange listings. So that's part of it too. And that's kind of where I see, with permission too, is that, it's still early days. I mean, I like a project that's trying to solve a big problem. One of the things I like about permission is the fact that there's a couple zeros to the right of that decimal point, right? So that means early days and a lot of possibility. But it says one protocol that's been gaining traction on the enterprise adoption front is Zinfin Network, which is XDC, enterprise-ready hybrid blockchain solution specifically designed to optimize international trade and finance. Data from Cointelegraph, Market Pro, and TradingView shows that after hitting a low of 0.06, now this was just on July 20th, Jeff. And then it rallied 190% to establish an all-time high. It went from, look at this, 190% up to 19 cents. 19 and a half, really. So I like it.
I like the 19.5 cents. It's
look at that chart right there, man.
Hovering. I think I looked today, it was like 13 cents, 14 cents, somewhere in there.
It just can't break out of that. Like it was hovering around 14, then it's trying to get out of that. But this one right here, utility network providing smart contracts. This is the blah, blah, blah. I want to go to, just trying to find their. The significance of the integration for Zinfin cannot be overstated because its partners them with some of the biggest global financial institutions and leading service providers like AIG, Santander, Asset Management, ING, big bank, huge banks, the International Chamber of Commerce, Standard Bank, Commonwealth Bank of Australia, Textile Group, and Lloyd's of London. And it says the overall goal of the TFD initiative is to create more.
Big partners.
They're huge. And if people are like, hey, it's a scam. Listen, man, okay, you can say what you want. You don't have to like the project, but you're right, Jeff. They're decent, and this one here is interesting too. This LedgerMail becomes the world's first decentralized email solution. I knew they had a couple of hiccups on it because they had, I think they got hammered. Like a lot of people went to try to sign up, so they got some but you get free access and you sign up, and I think you also get a little bit of XDC as well.
That'd be nice. If you can build it into the whole ecosystem, that seems to be very common. And then you start getting, the interoperability and throw in a little bit of cross chain. Man, everything's good.
I just dropped that in there, but that's this is interesting. I haven't had a chance to check it out yet, but it looks pretty interesting. So this is what's weird, Jeff. It says log in with your existing email ID, right? And of course, it's showing Google there. So I think that's how you log in. With existing. Well, it's kind of weird because why would you use Google for something decentralized? But I guess it just simplifies maybe the login. Then there's a mail extension. So you have a key phrase for your login, easy UI and UX. So yeah, we'll have to take a look at this and
it's exciting. It's cool because one of the things that we talk about a lot, there's projects out there that are in search of a problem that just doesn't exist. Then they try to fit it into something. And then you've got these projects that are actually solving something. And these are all, solvable problems. And this is their approach to it. There's going to be a little competition along the way, but that's a good thing.
Yeah, and you sign up, you get access and 10 XDC, which is not a lot, but it's something, it's something.
$2.
World's first, and some people have dabbled in that. I know Proton Mail was trying to do something, but it's more about privacy than it is about decentralization. But as far as I know, I don't know that anybody's tried to get the whole decentralization going on email. So it is pretty cool in that regard. So So you see there were some hiccups. Like I got the mail to set up mine, but no 10 XDC. And then I participated in the following guidelines of this airdrop, and I hope many people will be lucky to get a prize. So yeah, a couple little, just like anything new.
Those are always the hiccups too. Everyone gets upset because they didn't get the airdrop or they didn't get something free. They didn't get the little bit, and they get all pissed off at the project. Sometimes there are little glitches and you got to bring it out, and then they fix it. Hey, shout out to Hans Loaded over here, but just quick point. He said Jeff's OTC sign is bigger than Chip's.
It is, but I could order one of those
lemons.
I could order one of those silver ones too. Yeah, but my tree is a little bit nicer looking. It's just more of a setup. But then I wanted to throw this up here too because it says one of the bigger partnerships was its integration with shopping.io, an e-commerce project that enables users to pay with crypto for items on Amazon, eBay, Walmart, Etsy. And as an added perk, purchases made with XDC receive a 2% discount. And users who also hold the shopping.io's native SPI token can receive an extra 12% off. So you couple that, it's 14% off, any way you slice it. So it's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
They also partner with Happy, an on-chain cybersecurity protocol for decentralized finance. Projects help to increase the security and help prevent hack attempts. So there you go. Some good stuff, man.
Dude, that's awesome. I love seeing development and something happen, at least some movement, in the space. But Oscar saying, has anyone gotten paid from Jeff and Chip for tuning in? It was my understanding that we'd all get 1,000 OTCs.
Well, Oscar, listen, one of the things we are working on, Jeff and I are working on an NFT project. So there's that. So that's going to be, there's that right there. And when we have more details going into it,
an exciting one.
That's an exciting project. We're super stoked about that one. Yeah. So that one there is, again, OTC getting in the game, minting a 10,000 NFT project. And of course, what's the theme? Oh, you guys will know the theme when it's soon enough, but we're just working through some of the details right now. And it's exciting. Jeff and I can't wait to share it with you once we're in a position where we can. But anyway, it's good stuff, Jeff.
Man, you put this thing up here. It came from XRP News today. Where'd it go? Is that it?
No.
Oh, that's yours.
Screen. That's my screen. No,
that's hilarious.
It's like, no, that's not it.
Can I share my screen? Nope, I'm sharing the wrong screen.
That's the right one.
So this is it. The Arab Monterey Fund, Monetary Fund, plus Visa plus Ripple. So I read through this, and I think it's interesting because there's some progress being made over in where was it? What country is this in? I don't even know. In Buna?
Yeah.
No, Buna is the cross-border payment system.
Yeah, that's the payment system.
Owned by the Arab Monetary Fund. But where is the Arab Monetary Fund located?
I'm not sure. Is it Abu Dhabi? I don't know. It says in there somewhere. I remember reading through there.
I forget exactly. So I was going through all of this, and then so you look, and I'm trying to find where the Ripple factored into this whole thing. But it's interesting because you're starting to see a lot of activity, everywhere in relation to payments. Payments, remittance payments, cross-border payments. Before Ripple, how many people were talking about cross-border payments and cared about it? Remittance payments, right? Now it's like the sign of the times. Everybody's talking about it. But then what this author kind of there was right there. I didn't even see that. Abu Dhabi, right in the I knew it was somewhere.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. And so it's interesting because he goes in and said, have we forgotten that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, their central bank, which was the SAMA, or the Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority, their central bank had signed a deal with Ripple, and here it is here. They had a pilot program for the Saudi banks. And I think, it's interesting. So you go back, kind of reimagine what was happening in Saudi Arabia, and then back up and try to establish some reference point to what's going on over in Abu Dhabi. In some ways, I think it's a little bit of a stretch, but in other ways, there was a lot going on throughout, the Middle East in relation to RippleNet in a lot of the banks over there. What are your thoughts on this? I was trying to.
Yeah, it's a little bit on the vague side the way it's written, but look, I mean, I think if we sum it up, it comes down to progress, right? That's moving full steam ahead. There's stuff going on, especially in Abu Dhabi. But you're right, solving that problem. Look at that hand. That's so funny. It's got the Ripple logo.
Look at the Ripple.
It's a little creepy there, but okay.
It's a lot creepy.
So it's like someone thought that was a good idea. That was all right. I mean, it's like, yeah, I think ultimately it's a good sign. And there's a lot going on every day. We can't necessarily find it all, Jeff, but or talk through it. But it's all. I mean, I would say like eight plus years, Ripple's been laying the foundational stuff, and it's going on in the background. Remember all the partners they have. You say, well, they have over 400 partners, but we only probably know maybe 50 of them when they're ready to actually speak up. But once this SEC case wraps, and I was having a conversation with a buddy today about it, saying, what do you think is going to happen? I said, I just don't see them settling. I don't see, if Garlinghouse wanted to settle back before they dropped the lawsuit and they couldn't do it, what does a settlement mean? It's like, oh, we'll fine you. Well, do we have clarity? No. I mean, the assertion by the SEC is that XRP doesn't have any utility. Nothing. It's all, only has to do with just the one prong of the Howey test, a contract for potential gains. That's all they see. But then problem is that even somebody at the SEC, the funny part, think about it like this, Jeff. You have ETH, you have Hinman's remarks about that. It's a smart contract platform. Yes, there's ERC20s. Yes, there's other coins minted on that. But look at all of the advancements for XRP along the way. So saying that's just absolutely silly. So, and the fact is that fair notice is alive and well because of Roisman and because of Pierce giving up the goat there with the we don't have clarity. Well, wait a minute. You guys 6 months earlier you sued Ripple. So what do you mean there's no clarity? And then obviously that so to me it's like it's going to be interesting to see kind of how this thing how it shakes out.
I agree. Paul Murray, IMF announced and doubled down saying cryptocurrency won't threaten sovereign currencies. Ripple XRP will be the only bridge to CBDCs globally. And I've been reading so much about CBDCs lately, and it's, I can't stop reading about them. And there's two new ones that came up that are piloting right now, are getting ready to pilot. One is in Nigeria. The other one is in Ghana. So you have the Nair in Nigeria, and you have the what is it? I wrote it down. The one in Ghana, something over in Ghana. But it's so interesting to see the direction that they're moving in. The one over in Nigeria is being built on the Hyperledger. So, there's a lot going on, but some of the statements that I pulled out of it, we can go and dig into the Hyperledger at some point, but right now there's this race, for the it's called the ECETI, and there's a race right now to the digital currency. Many, they reference the digital yuan. They try to reference the success of the digital yuan, but I found it interesting. They were trying to draw a comparison to, why aren't they cryptocurrencies? Why is the digital asset different? So, one of the statements was, well, if I'm holding my money in the bank and I already have a digital representation of it on my app, on these e-wallets that that they use, what's the difference between that and the e-Naira or whatever, the CBDC? And it was just interesting to see how their approach was, and they really tried to draw a distinction between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Those are the two they highlight to this new e-currency. And Chip, one of the things they said in the article was that it was centralized.
It just goes to show you they don't understand, Jeff. By the way, let's see who was asking. Oh, XRP Panic was saying, "What am I sipping?" Oh, my daughter just brought me a smoothie. So I was just sipping on a little smoothie she brought me. brought me
I
home
thought you
after
were-
she got out of her shift at work. So that was all very kind of
I
her.
thought you were sipping on
And
some gin and juice.
gin and juice. Yeah, well, you never know, Jeff. It could be that too. And she got me a ginger shot, which I love. So she got me a ginger
Nice.
shot. So yeah, one of those healthy smoothie places. So, but Jeff, look at this. So I came across this one, and it's just bizarre. I mean, this is one of these things where, and it's written by Ganesh, which you know is the god. I was like, wait a minute, Ganesh wrote this article? But look at this. It says blockchain finance market to witness a pronounced growth during 2027. Ripple, Rubix by Deloitte, Accenture, Distributed Ledger Technologies, OKLink, NASDAQ Link, and Oracle. So it just caught my eye. They want you to download the report. I mean, 2027. Who's talking about 2027, Jeff? You know,
They
but
are apparently.
yeah, they are. And they said, like, you can get this blockchain finance market research report available at a high quality database of reports in reports.com. You click on this link, and then they basically, you know, get like your name, your firstborn, your blood type, all that stuff, so they can remarket to you. And then, you know,
Nice.
they talk about IT solutions and fintech and bank consulting. But I thought it was interesting that it's 2027. So they're starting to look and project it out, but you can see the Ripple's on there and Deloitte and some other ones. It says it's a comprehensive analysis of blockchain finance market size across the globe as regional and country level market sizes analysis, Kager estimation of market growth during the forecast period, revenue. So apparently they did some kind of a deep dive on this, which I thought was interesting. And then I went over
How are they forecasting 6 years in the future?
I don't know, Jeff, but like, you see what I mean? Like, you see all this stuff here. It's like email and the company and the country and all that stuff. So
A report that came to us from 6 years in the future.
Yeah, it might be worth checking out. I don't know, potentially.
What's up with the XRP and the Baba Ganoush?
Yeah, Baba Ganoush, not Baba Ganoush, Ganesh. You guys don't know Ganesh is one of my favorites.
Ganache.
The Indian gods. Here's Ganesh right here. It's because it's here we go. Let me pull up Ganesh here. This is actually a good looking Ganesh right there.
You know, when I've always wanted to go to India during the color holiday.
Oh yeah,
And they throw the chalk. I've ran the color wars. I've done that multiple times. But how cool would it be to be over in India while they're doing that? That'd be sweet.
This is like kind of like a cooler sort of a Ganesh there, but you know.
Oh yeah, yep.
There's the more traditional ones.
One of the festivals. I think I was there during the festival of the Ganesh.
Yeah, so there you go.
Whatever it's, I don't know. I'm not sure what it's called.
Apparently, Ganesh wrote the article. Maybe it has some sort of a seer, sort of a ability to look into 2027. So I don't know exactly what they're doing, but I thought it was interesting that they're looking at 2027. You see the big players out there, you know, Accenture and Deloitte and Ripple, and you know the players that are here but more established. So that's it. And also Oracle was in there.
So XRP Panic saw it again. And I got to get rid of this thing sitting in front of me. It's plastic. I don't know where it came from, but it's sitting here on my desk, and it's always right here. But it's funny.
You were playing with that last night. People are like, Jeff,
I was playing with it last night too. I don't know. It's like right here. I keep picking it up, and it is plastic though.
Yeah, I always play with this thing. It's like my little remote control with my fan up there, and I'm like,
put it over there.
Like you always like twisting it, and you know, it's sort of turning it.
It came out of. Yeah.
You know, when you're on a conference call during the day and you're always like fidgeting with something, you know what I mean? While you're thinking, or you're drawing little funny, funny things in your notebook or whatever. Yeah. Today was a crazy day with that stuff. I mean, man, oh man. I was like, what happened today? Everything just fell off the face of the earth today. It was like one of those days where everything was in free fall. And you have those days. So I don't know how that works out.
Van Life Biker he could have got some eggplant from the garden. He could have made some baba ganoush.
Could have made some, yeah. I don't see why not. And then
ganoush.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, Jeff, probably one of my favorite all-time writers going on today, and there's a couple of them, but I don't think any are more succinct or spot on than Rosalind Layton. She penned another phenomenal article.
Another good one.
That's a good one. I don't think we're get into the whole thing. Well, this is what I like about this too, is like, you know, if you're not like into reading stuff and you're like, that's a long article, you can just click this and listen to it. So I like that too. You can just listen to it. And, but I just want to read a couple things in here. She said when the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission filed its bombshell lawsuit against the cryptocurrency innovator Ripple Labs in December 2020, it did not expect blowback. But during the pretrial phase, Ripple's legal team put the SEC itself on trial after years of conflicting and confusing guidance on the rules for cryptocurrency. No one expected the tsunami of legal, political, and social media action from the retail cryptocurrency investors outraged by the betrayal from an agency claiming to protect their interests, right? That's their mission statement. The meltdown of the SEC's credibility with this $2 trillion global investor community exposes a costly SEC miscalculation. And Jeff, she takes it hardcore to Gary Gensler. She rips him a new one, and it's done in such a beautiful way. But I mean, we don't have to get into the whole thing because it talks about, yeah, it says, so it talks about the decentralized social media apparatus that's proven powerful. Just ask Congress after the backlash of that infrastructure bill over a badly written crypto tax provision. When the Ripple's lawsuit was filed, that ecosystem galvanized an independent battlefront unexpected by the SEC. So they realized they had stepped in it pretty big, right?
Yeah, I like how she's, really restating what we've said so many times. It's awesome.
Oh, without a doubt. And she says the uprise against the SEC, not particularly pro-Ripple, but a backlash against the regulation by enforcement and a deliberate market confusion that it's exasperated investors and driven developers overseas, which, that's one of the main things we talk about. Says the main points of their lawsuit demonstrate why the case was the last straw for crypto enthusiasts. Agency alleges not only the Ripple distribution of the cryptocurrency XRP has been one long unregistered securities trade over 8 or 9 years since 2013, but that digital asset itself, a token that operates on a fully decentralized ledger, is a security with no utility other than as an investment contract in a single company. And again, Jeff, she nails it there,
How many
right?
times is that? Yeah. Oh, it's perfect. It's a nice statement.
And she says the agency insists that every market participant on Earth should have known. On Earth, Jeff, not only she didn't mention other planets, because I'm wondering, should people have known on different planets? Maybe not. Maybe just on Earth they should have known, but everyone on Earth.
On the space station. Let's go as far as the space station.
Okay, the space station should have known too. Be like, are you logging into Coinbase and trading your cryptocurrency? You should have known. Space does not preclude you from knowing just because you're not on planet Earth.
What your digital asset is. I wonder if your crypto is safe up in the space station.
It says anyone could be next without warning. Many point to the 2018 speech by then Director Corporation Finance Bill Hinman. Then it outlined how the Ethereum token Ether, not a security, used criteria that could even more convincingly be applied to XRP. After all, Ethereum held an unregistered initial coin offering in 2014. And Jeff, this is one of probably the biggest, what's the word I'm looking for? It's absolutely nutty that they don't know that they did an ICO. They're like, oh, but they're not today. But so what? They did an ICO.
They did, but they didn't. And yeah, it makes no sense, Chip. They want to single out Ripple from 2013 and make claims they sold an unregistered security, but they're going to overlook the fact that Ethereum was initially an ICO.
And Jeff, you'll love this one here. When Ripple made the argument in court, the SEC's appallingly disingenuous response was that Hinman's speech was just his personal opinion, did not reflect any official thinking by the agency. And we've seen DAI has been tweeting a bunch of good things today, just hammering them, all kinds of videos where they lay it out, talking about that. We watched one of the videos last night where Hinman says, yeah, we gave guidance and clarity. That's where I think they're in trouble, Jeff.
Yeah, of course, we didn't think that it's funny. The whole thing, it's such an easy out. We've reviewed it so many times. It's just so funny. I like seeing other people's take on it, and then you realize that, the way you dissect it and analyze it, we're not all crazy. It's like we're all thinking the same thing. And obviously there's something wrong in the overall.
Well, I particularly like this one here because she starts talking about how incredible the community's been. She starts off with, meanwhile, a network calling themselves the XRP Army, that's us, marched into battle, led by dozens of influencers who hold XRP along with other cryptocurrencies. This is us, Jeff. have no particular allegiance to Ripple, and collectively have over 1 million followers collectively on YouTube and Twitter. They rush to post and comment on every new filing of the case docket while monitoring the actions and statements of the U.S. Kind of sounds like they're describing us right now, right?
It does, yeah. And we've got, of that million, we've got the last point something.
Yeah, exactly. It says some operate like wire agencies. Yeah, the smartest ones, like wire agencies reporting legal and market facts in detail, while others infuse lively opinion right here on the chain, give legal analysis of the case. We're not attorneys, but we've got Jeremy Hogan, we have John E. Deaton, we have also there's a bunch of other attorneys as well.
Well, talking about that, Chip, I've been talking to an attorney, a crypto attorney that actually specializes in cryptocurrencies, and we're working to get her on the show.
That's going to be awesome, Jeff, because somebody who, especially knowing the background and like an actual real crypto attorney that's had some stuff. And then it says here, moreover, the community has the attention of Magistrate Judge Sarah Nepern, who opened up thousands of phone lines for the public to hear each of the procedural hearings in the case. And they file up in minutes. Jeff, they opened it to 4,000 and people couldn't get on. Some of the attorneys came in late.
Right away.
They couldn't get on. They couldn't get on there.
It's funny. They all have the same call-in number. I figure, maybe you separate it out. You gotta have the listening area. Then you have the participating area, different call-in numbers. Apparently they don't do it that way.
And then she starts going after the meat and potatoes right here, as Rob Cash used to say. The XRP Army has recently started unearthing video evidence of the regulatory misconduct that strikes at both the SEC's case and its public credibility. So she's just been saying that they don't have credibility, Jeff, and over and above what Ripple's presented in court. One video shows Hinman making it clear his 2018 speech was indeed intended to guide the markets. And that's the video we played last night, and reflected our thinking at the SEC. Remember, our thinking, what do you think about that, Jeff? When they start using things like we thought this and ours, they're not talking about him.
Yeah, you kind of move back to the away from your personal opinion at that point. And even went up there, I'm still kind of tongue-tied over how you get to the point where you can just skate around the subjects. Imagine you just come out and say, oh no, I wasn't speaking on my behalf. No, I made a mistake. I was speaking from a professional perspective. Oh no, no, actually it wasn't professional. It was my own personal opinion. Even though I was standing there, with a sign, I was wearing my name tag, I had the big logo on the podium. I was invited there because of my position with the agency. This is
probably
so funny.
When I tweeted this out earlier, I did tweet this paragraph as a graphic because this is my favorite paragraph in this whole thing. It is, and you're going to like this just because of what she says here. But as the discovery phase draws to an end and the public backlash intensifies, one wonders why the SEC chairman Gary Gensler would continue risking his legacy, which we've talked about, on taking the Ripple case to trial. His fumbling defense of non-existent clarity has only widened the agency's credibility gap and hurt his image as a heretofore champion of crypto. And this is the best part, who, amongst other things, taught a course on the subject at where, Jeff? MIT.
But I have a feeling that it's that teaching of said course at MIT that allows him to overlook the reality of what he lived too long. Even if it was a year or a semester, he lived too long in that environment of no reality. So when he leaves the zone of no reality, now he's kind of working in a government position that also doesn't live in the real world. So two areas that are outside of the real world, academia and government. So, the ideas just don't apply anymore. It's like a bubble, we're all outside the bubble in the real world where physics actually apply.
And this is what I like here. It's like, and the academics and government, zero accountability, Jeff. It's just like, this is how you can waltz in there. You can claim to be a certain, race, and you can make $400,000 a year, and you can show up for maybe 6 hours a week. That's it. It's a pretty good gig if you can get it.
It's nice.
She says that aside from the unprecedented restrictions on the SEC's power that a losing verdict would inflict, can Gensler effectively lead an agency that's provoking so much hostility from the very constituency that it claims to be defending? Ooh, with a razor-thin Democrat majority in Congress heading into the midterms, the Biden administration can ill afford turning against crypto community. Man, this is
pretty good of it. They've done a pretty good job of
she
turning
laid it
against
out.
the crypto community. Done.
And
Spike.
Rosalind, man, she is a rock star. She's fantastic. She analyzes international technology policy through business economics. Just a really well thought out and totally, she just tears Gary Gensler. Like, he is risking his legacy. Why would you want to be the guy? And a lot of analysts early days said, oh, when Gensler comes on the scene, probably going to come to some sort of a resolution. Why? Because they asserted that because he taught this MIT course, he was pro crypto. And it's like, what he's pro is punching people in the throat. It's like all he really wants to do is drop the hammer. That's kind of what it is.
Hey, so Josh was saying, did anyone else on here go to MIT that can help explain the clarity?
The clarity.
The clarity. I don't. His clarity isn't so clear.
But Jeff, why would you drop that every time? It's like, by the way, I taught a course at MIT, if not to reinforce the fact that you know a lot about cryptocurrency, which he apparently does not. Like, you would only use that in defense of the fact, like, to shore up the fact that you have a lot of knowledge in the area because you did teach this course on cryptocurrency at MIT. That would be, but why throw it out there if it's like not even going to bolster your opinion or your opinions? It's just the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah, it's interesting. If you have to keep rehashing it over and over and over again, I mean, we get to rehash it because it's fun to rehash it. But it's kind of like another politician's wife that runs around and everyone calls her doctor. I won't say exactly who that is, but
I know who that
but
is.
anyhow, so hey, did you see this? This is really cool because with all these things going on and Coinbase, traded over there on the NASDAQ. Check this out. They've announced that they have announced a $500 million investment into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other crypto assets. So they're actually going to take $500 million and they're putting it into, they're taking, look at this. The blog post said Coinbase new strategy is committed to investing $500 million of its existing cash and cash equivalents, as well as 10% of its future quarterly net income in crypto assets.
Yeah, we covered that story, I think, a week ago. And one of the things is that they had to get, because they're a public company now, they had to get permission of the board. Because
there was something else that was going in. Yeah, so now they're actually moving forward. Very cool.
Interessante. That's insane.
Yeah, I think it's look what it says here. Coinbase has decided to make a change in its investment policy towards greater crypto asset involvement. The company reports the decision was made after noticing that the majority of Coinbase corporate financial transactions, such as paying vendors, employees, and investing corporate cash, are heavily weighted in fiat. Now, I look at something like that, I'm like, wait a minute, you're a crypto company, yet the majority of your transactions are in fiat. You would think you would want to change that. And then you would think, and I know we're not in that reality, but your employees, you would think that there'd be some mechanism to pay them in crypto.
Yeah, you would think, right?
You would think. Live what you're doing. So
live free, Jeff. Live free. I wanted to throw this up there because I can't wrap my head around this. Sometimes when there's a really big number, you just have to look at it and you're like, what? So look at this right here. What? Ethereum NFT CryptoPunks hit 1 billion with a B in total sales. Jeff, that's
massive.
That's massive. And it's 8-bit. That's the best part of it. 8-bit, right? So NFT collectible CryptoPunks has reached a historic milestone with the second project to hit 1 billion in trading volume.
Dude,
that
is insane. But what's crazy about that is that they hit their $1 billion mark at the same time that OpenSea's surpassed $1 billion in weekly volume.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, I think
it's
they seem to be
amazing.
connected, right? So again,
Could very
the
well be.
CryptoPunks, it's 10,000 individual, only 10,000 of them, strong collection of Ethereum-based NFTs. It made CryptoPunks the second NFT project to cross the $1 billion mark. Now, this is Axie Infinity, surpassed that level on August 8th. The game has amassed a total trading volume of 1.6 billion. They're headed towards 2 billion, Jeff. This is insane.
Rapidly.
And this is it right here. Here it is right here. Here's the Axie becomes the Axie Infinity. Let's see that little cute, those cute little, I don't know what they're, fishes, I guess. I don't know.
Actually, isn't that a game?
Pokemon inspired, yeah, NFT game traded hands to 2.4 million transaction. What is it? It's shed the blockchain from Axie Infinity. The game plays like a simple monster battler. Axies have various stats that determine their fate in battles with other players, just like Pokemon. So it's kind of like a takeoff of Pokemon. Except, I don't know. I mean, Pokemon probably hit that billion, but look at this. Would you think in a million years that this hit $1.6 billion? Wow.
The whole NFT craze, it's just, but you brought up, it's like the Pokemon craze, the Pokemon craze, the Beanie Baby craze, there's all these collectibles out there, it's just, but now, you referenced the Pokemon and all those other cards, the collectible cards, now you move that into the digital arena, why not collect digital representation that has value, and you're storing it. I still don't understand where you store it. Like, I mean, if you have, the cards, you open up the book, you can look through them. What do you do with these? Like, are you putting them somewhere?
But you have the graphic though. You can download the graphic anyway. The bottom line is that ownership is indelible on the blockchain forever, unless you go ahead and transfer it to somebody else. That's where the real power is, and different from. You could actually lose the graphic. It doesn't matter. You still own it. It's on the blockchain. So you can't really ever lose it. It can't be destroyed in a fire like a famous Van Gogh or Picasso got destroyed in a fire. It's done. Unless you're able to start tokenizing that, which, Aesthetis is doing with art. And yeah, that's kind of an interesting thing. Jeff, I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Leaving us. He's out of here. All right. So while he's gone doing that, I do want to talk about Cardano swap, and it's gone. I just lost it. Lost my mouse, lost the Cardano. Let me see if I can get it back. It's gone. Oh, I got to open it again. So anyhow, this is really cool because you've got, I got to find the article. But anyhow, so if you've been onto Uniswap, obviously Cardano, making some big moves. Overall, going into the smart contracts and everything. So this is Cardaswap, and Cardaswap, as we're going to see, I find it to be interesting because, there's a lot that, you look at Uniswap, you look at Pancake, you look at a lot of these DeFi exchanges, and it's interesting, right? So here, swap, earn, and build on the next gen DEX on the Cardano blockchain called Cardaswap. So the Cardaswap protocol, trade, bridge, and become a liquidity provider in a financial marketplace, right? So there's just so much yet that is undiscovered, untapped, and here we go with the Cardano, with the ADA, and this is one. I never. Invested a little bit in it, but not much. I looked at ADA. I know there's probably others in the community right here that have invested in ADA that like the Cardano. But this is like the next step. And Cardano ADA is moving rapidly towards $3. It wasn't that long ago. It was hovering at like $1. So, it's definitely gone through and increased, nicely. But you're starting to see the full utility. You're seeing that the platform is coming into place. Here you have Cardaswap DEX will allow users to trade any Cardano native token for ADA or a native token for another native token on the Cardano blockchain, become a liquidity provider, and earn passive income. That to me is exciting. Any of these projects that are allowing you to earn passive income, to me is, a big deal. You just have to be realistic and you have to be careful as to whether or not that passive income is legit or if it's not legit. Chip, I'm glad you came back. So we're just going over the Cardaswap. How exciting is that Cardano moving in the direction of the smart contracts, but moving in this with this new DEX. It's very, very cool.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And it's great to see projects, moving along, getting traction. You can see the roadmap right there. But to me, this is a must in the industry. I look at the DEXs, they're decentralized exchanges, and ultimately, this is where I think we're headed. I think we're less about centralization and more about decentralization. So again, I would rather, if I'm using Cardano or a native asset, seems to me like this would be a better choice and a solution to go down versus some of those other ones out there, which I don't know, not that they're bad, but again, I think this one, I haven't used it yet, but I bet it's just the concept behind it makes total sense to me.
Now look at this, Chip. In Q4, Cardaswap full DEX AMA interface on Cardano-based NFT marketplace. So what does that tell you about the presence of NFT? That there's more. We're just seeing the beginning. We're just scratching the surface on the NFT space. We don't even see the full utility of it yet. So there's a lot going on. You can become an early adopter. You can go check it out, Cardaswap.finance. And there's a whole bunch of them. They're just popping up. It's really really exciting.
Yeah, it is. It just continues to show you the growth. There's the tokenomics. It just shows you the growth in the space moving forward.
1 million total supply, 1 million of these katas. So it kind of reminds you of what's that other one that went up to equal Bitcoin? What is forget what that one's called. There is limited. It's equal distribution. I think for the Bitcoin.
A couple of years ago, that one. What was that one called? I forget what it's called.
Yeah. So here you have a team. Look at this. The team keeps 90,000. Seed round 200,000 already completed. Pre-sale hasn't come yet. 250. Public sale after that 150. Ecosystem will have 90. Staking and rewards at 110, and then marketing partnerships. Unsold tokens after each round will be burnt. So if this doesn't get fulfilled, then they're going to burn whatever's left. That's pretty amazing.
It is pretty amazing. It's pretty cool. It just goes to show you that it's marching forward, Jeff. And, people aren't slowing down. People don't care about the SEC. They're moving forward. They're innovating in this space. And if they're based in the U.S., they're like, hey, you got a problem? We'll pack up and move in the middle of the night, and we'll be someplace else. I mean, most of the time, they've got offices around the world. All they do is change their mailing address.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
All. They're not based in the U.S. anymore, and nobody cares anymore. It's like, so wanted to throw this up here because this was a very astute observation. Love it or hate it, but Blockworks said it's Warren Buffett's birthday today. Many call him the greatest investor. The greatest investor doesn't understand Bitcoin, the best performing asset of the last 10 years. This is how early we are, right?
But he also didn't like Amazon or Google or any of those.
Check it out. That's what somebody else said. He was the last generation's best investor. We implemented an update that doesn't work with an outdated hardware. Now here, he didn't understand Apple or Amazon either, but he makes a great stonk market shiller, sweet, unassuming grandpa archetype. And it's funny because right, but I don't think he is, but but that's the whole thing is like you don't have to get Apple or Amazon to be massively, wildly successful. And Berkshire Hathaway, that's acquired all these companies along the way, is doing extremely well. It always has. It's performed very well. The stock on that. And he's not a great investor. My friend's dad invested the same years and made his fortune as his input in markets with no daddy money, all sweat and blood. Buffett was just at the right place at the right time. As far as crypto, the key locks you out. Try not to go crazy. So there's a lot of people but think about it. Somebody as prolific and amazing as Warren Buffett, who's known worldwide, right? Didn't get
right.
Bitcoin. 10 years. Still doesn't understand it. Still didn't understand Apple. Didn't understand Amazon.
No, he doesn't understand tech, but you don't have to, like you said, you don't have to invest in tech. You can invest in oil. You can invest in, the old S&Ps. You can, I mean, it's like he knows what he's investing in, and he's specialized in a certain area, and it's good for him. It made him wealthy. So he's missing the boat on crypto, but he shouldn't come out and bash people investing in crypto either. He should keep his opinions to himself. Check this out, though, Palmer. Roblox, we'll get into the blockchain soon. My boy's on it all the time, building houses and spending all my money on it. It's funny, that's exactly right. My son's also into Roblox. He's always playing all those games, always asking. He has all these birthday cards, gift certificate things, and he keeps asking me if he can convert them over to Google Play or to Google Play dollars or whatever, so he can get and buy stuff on his app. And I'm like, come on, how much money can you spend? You can spend a fortune over there, and they're not even in the blockchain yet.
Yeah, so Cutter with a lot of sixes after said, I was looking for that lost Hinman GC28 summit video. I found out that Andreessen Horowitz, the venture capital company, was filming it, but no video. Then I found Hinman is a special advisor to them. Hinman is so bent. And then there's this one too by XRP Speedboat. Control freaks here in Ontario, Canada have turned the crypto industry into an S show. Shit show. Probably a good idea for you folks in the USA to keep an eye on what's happening here as a precursor. Be ready. Well, it's interesting that that Mr. Trudeau cannot get out of that bus without getting shouted down and hammered. I mean, I'm seeing all these videos out there. It's incredible. And he keeps us, he smiles and people yell stuff and obscenities at him. And he pretends like, yeah, okay, hey, good for you.
Change his name.
I'm not so sure this is going to work out in his favor. I know why he called the special election early. Try to head off the past, because obviously another year from now, it's not going to happen. But we're going to see.
He's a disaster. You should just call him Falsto.
Let's call him what?
Falsto instead of Trudeau.
Oh, okay.
False.
Falsto, gotcha. Okay, I was like,
Falsto.
What the hell is that all about?
How crazy is this? I saw this too. China just banned children from playing computer games on the weekdays. 3 hours. They get 3 hours a day to play video games by the government.
Well, Jeff, we're becoming the nanny state everywhere. Every country is turning into the nanny state. What they don't understand is that they are the very few and we are the massive many. And they continue to push their thumb down on us, thinking that, I mean, they're very small. And I don't think they even have very much support. When I see in Greece and I see, it looks like tens of thousands out there, and I see in Paris, and people are fed up. They're like, we're done with this. You know what? We make the rules. You don't make the rules, we make them. And we're not liking your oppressive nature. And that's why, I mean, imagine a country like New Zealand gets one case and they shut down the entire island country, right? And forcibly, the whole thing's it's starting to get out of control. In the U.S. here, we had General Flynn, who was a bank, deleted all his credit cards and his bank account because they thought, and imagine a bank has that kind of power because they don't like some of the things you say. A decorated general who served his country got kicked out of a bank because they thought it's a reputational risk to their account. And the reputational risk is the people that find out that happened and they bail. That's what's going to happen. But
yeah, I'm not too happy with the bank that has done that.
Because I have a feeling that's your bank.
It's one of them, yeah.
You're the next one, dude. You're the next one to get.
I mean,
you'll be the next one. It's like, Jeff got hammered. No more, because we don't like. We can't have it anymore, Jeff. There's no more. We can't do that.
Don't like your opinions.
Don't like your opinions. You got to keep it to yourself.
Out of here. So check this out. So I referenced this in the beginning, but I thought this was kind of interesting, right? Bitcoin bull and bear cycles have become a thing of the past, according to on-chain analyst Willie Wu. Now, the bull and bear cycles, obviously we all know what they are because there's highs and there's lows. And typically in stocks, they don't have those massive highs and lows. There's ups and downs, but a lot of stocks always are trending in an upward trajectory. And that's kind of what they're referencing here too. So on-chain analyst Willie Wu says the pronounced bull and bear cycles will become a thing of the past. I like what he says here, though. He said, instead, it's going to be replaced by a drunken walk upward, much like the S&P 500 or other major stock indices. What do you think? Indices.
I think it's an interesting take. You know, Willie Wu, he's a Bitcoin maxi. He wears that cowboy hat. I've seen him a lot on a lot of stuff, but you know what? He was smart. He saw Bitcoin early days and he threw all in and he became a multi-gazillionaire. So, you know, somebody that understands the market and studies it, I think it's an interesting take because I do think at some point it's going to level off a little bit and we're not going to see these major, you know, discrepancies with the market right now. Yeah, we're still early days, but I do think he has a point that we're probably going to see what do you call it, the drunken step up, what do you call it,
the drunken walk,
the drunken walk. Yeah, where it's more a little staggery. Stagger, you know. And so I kind of feel like, yeah, as the market matures, I think he's got a good point. We probably will see that.
And really a lot of that, yeah, it's going to be due to overall supply and demand on it, but those books are going to start tightening up. So right now there's wide gaps in those books. And then once you get that downward spiral. But truthfully, yeah, as everything tightens up, and it's interesting too, because that's going to be confidence level. A lot of that has to do with the trade volume. So, you know, you see in the lower trade volume stocks, you'll see a lot of ups and downs. But when you tighten up the trade volume, and everything changes. But I think, you know, to that point, to what you're saying, that's definitely the direction that we're going in. You know, you get more people involved. That's the Main Street involvement. You get more people, more volume, more trades on a daily basis, and it changes the whole fundamentals of this space. We move from a $2 trillion market cap to a quadrillion dollar market cap in a short period of time. Even if it takes a decade, you know, why not be a quadrillion dollar market cap? Why not?
I think it's definitely going to happen. There's so much money out there, and look, stuff like this right here story caught me too. Polkadot based DeFi protocol Parallel Finance, they raised 22 million in Series A funding. Now, what's interesting? I mean, Polkadot's making massive moves, right? So Polkadot based DeFi protocol Parallel Finance, they raised 22 million, and they plan to launch the mainnet. Now, here's what's wild about this whole thing. They just launched 5 months ago, and they're actually doing a 22 million Series A, which is astounding. So a lot of that probably has to do with the fact that it's Polkadot. The fact is that they're, you know, creating a DeFi platform, but it offers two key services: leverage staking and liquidity mining. Leverage staking enables users to borrow against their staking collateral to increase their yield, and liquidity mining allows the users to stake their Polkadot, their DOT tokens, to receive Parallel's native tokens. So they're going to actually have their own token there, Jeff. What do you think about that?
I like it. You know, I think, you know, as you start branching into the more financial type of environments, then they have to roll out, you know, additional assets in order to make that happen. And I think we're starting to see that across the board. I don't know if that's, you know, overall long-term sustainability, good or bad, because now you have so many tokens. You know, is there a point of no return? You know, is it get too much? Is there a point where there's too much, you know, and then you have to consolidate back down a little bit to keep the focus? Do you dilute the market when you have too much, you know, division? You know, like, you know, and all these finance. So you look at like Flare Finance, and you've got the Wrapped and the this and that. You got so many, but then all the other subsets also have similar type of asset classes. You know, does that, I don't know.
Well, I mean, generally speaking, if you only had 3,000 users of Parallel, the protocol plans to onboard another 10,000 within 6 months, over 50,000 users within a year. But I mean, 3,000 is not a massive number, right? It's actually pretty small.
No, yeah,
but what it does is it demonstrates the viability of the platform, right? There's things going on there. They can probably cite, you know, on the yields, what's happening with that. So again, this kind of stuff, when you see stuff happening with Polkadot and the DeFi space, I think it's super positive, man. I love seeing this stuff, without a doubt.
I agree. No, it's
Jeff,
exciting.
Did you know that how many days a week do we broadcast live, by the way?
At least 6.
Okay, 6 days. Okay, just make sure.
At least 6. Today's Monday, man. I feel like it's a Friday again. I don't know what day it is, but
But you
we
held down
streamed
the ship
6
last.
days a week. I did for 6 days, and on the
That's a lot
7th
of
day
work,
he
man.
rested.
That's right. Sounds familiar. I think I've heard that before.
I
7th
just
day he
made it
does
up.
rest.
No,
Yeah,
so
sure.
so
Has nothing to do with Genesis at all, Jeff. It's just
nothing whatsoever to do with that.
Nothing.
So we stream 6 days a week, Sunday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I just want to play this too because I'm kind of wondering, where has Gary Gensler been lately?
Gary!
Oh, that's the best.
Jeff, it cracks me up every time. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's just fantastic.
Gary,
Especially with the weird
Gary.
face. That's,
And hey, tomorrow we will crash the court's phone systems.
yeah.
And make sure no recordings of the event.
Right. Don't do that. You don't get yourself in trouble. And Rob XRP, if you guys follow him on Twitter, he will be live tweeting it. So if if you're kind of in between something, you can follow it. He does a phenomenal job of live tweeting. So I had sent that out last week, but Rob XRP does a phenomenal job of kind of getting the important pieces of what's going to happen. You can review everything that he talked about and kind of feel like you were there if you can't get in, or if you don't have the time.
Dude, I like it.
So,
And
Jeff,
Jim D's got a new idea, the new Gary coin.
the Gary coin. Well, they do
Gary.
have the SEC protest coin, which I don't know what that's all about. They do have an SEC protest coin. It's funny, man. People, you got to love people. They're fantastic. They really are. The creativity, the passion of people in the crypto, it's like nothing else. It is just a phenomenal time to be alive right now.
Dude, it's amazing. It's exciting. It's so exciting. Here we are sitting here streaming and broadcasting to people all over the world, talking about cryptocurrency with the smartest people in the entire crypto space. We got a great community here. Love you guys. We will be back streaming once again Tuesday night, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yep. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Chip and Jeff out.
Cool.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.